have a quorum. And all set, Joe? And we have several member comments and written comments from McKenna Ledeen and the Railroad Museum thanking us for donation. And a thank you for McKenna's scholarship. And in person, we have for a member comment, Ryan Wilson from KFFR. All right, floor is yours.
Is this the best place to address? All right, hi, I'm Ryan Wilson. I'm the executive director of KFFR 88.3 FM over in Fraser. We are the local community radio station for Grand County, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about a partnership that we're seeking with Mountain Parks Electric. And we wanted the board of Mountain Parks Electric to kind of know about this partnership and what we're going for, and to tell you a little bit about what it could do to benefit Mountain Parks and KFFR itself. So I'm going to just pass out, it's just a one sheet here that you can kind of follow along with. If you take one and pass around, that'd be great. I also have a couple of annual reports if you want to see everything that KFFR does for the county and how we're moving to kind of expand our services. So, like I said, KFFR, we have a vision that we want to be the community hub for Grand County, empowering people through broadcasting while supporting the local economy and the arts by partnering with local businesses, nonprofits, and municipalities. So today I'm here really seeking a partnership with Mountain Parks Electric. With some of the infrastructure that MPEI has, we think that we can use some of that infrastructure to extend our broadcast reach throughout the county using infrastructure specifically on Grouse Mountain. Joe Palmer and I rode up to Grouse Mountain yesterday, took a look at the infrastructure that's there, and have basically determined that that's a really good solution for KFFR. So what does MPEI get out of this partnership? First way, it's an additional way to communicate with your constituents. Right now, Mountain Parks Electric already is an underwriter on KFFR. Chris Michalowski just sent me a PSA that we're going to be airing, and we're actually going to try to make that a bilingual PSA featuring some of the things that are happening here at Mountain Parks Electric. But we also put on a spot that runs 3 to 6 times every single day promoting the Electrify initiative by Mountain Parks Electric. So already you guys are using KFFR as a way to reach your constituents. We think that by extending our reach, you're going to be able to reach more of your constituents. I think it's also an opportunity to show the support of Mountain Parks Electric with the community. We really are beginning to be that community hub that people are tuning into for the most reliable information on Grand County. And we are broadcasting. We've done remote broadcasts in Winter Park, Kremling, Grand Lake, and Granby. We haven't done one in Hot Sulphur yet, but I'm sure that's around the corner. And so what we do is we go out, we remote broadcast, people see KFFR, learn about our radio station, and a lot of times people end up tuning in. I'll pass around my card. On the back of the card too is a little QR code that you can scan, and you can listen to it anywhere you are, anywhere in the world. And our online presence is actually growing. But what we're really interested in is supporting the local community and making sure all of our listeners in our community can listen to KFFR. There's a little, we did a program called The Sound of Grand County, and we're featuring artists and musicians all across the county to come into the studio and play music, and then we put it into our library. And I just wanted to, kind of share some feedback, and we get this kind of feedback all the time from our constituents that support KFFR. This is someone from Kremling who said, I'm incredibly proud to live in Grand County, but never more so than listening to the sound of Grand County tonight. Luke Hickam rides my school bus, volunteers every day with his family at the Troublesome Horse Rescue. Caitlin Tossig and her family have been revered for decades. Her mom is still many residents' favorite teacher. And it was the first time I'm listening to Burnt Orange. You hit it out of the park tonight, across the country and over the divide. So she was listening to KFFR that night from Kremling, even though we don't have a radio signal there just yet. Another big thing I want to personally thank Mountain Parks Electric for is our story time program. So I know that Mountain Parks Electric believes in education. I used to be a former teacher over at Middle Park High School. I'm obviously a big supporter of educating youth. We have an internship program where we train youth. We are currently working with Middle Park High School to put in a satellite studio over there where students are going to run it and have an online radio station that we can then tap into at 88.3 FM and maybe broadcast a football game or broadcast a student panel or just put more youth on the air. And so this relationship between Mountain Parks Electric and KFFR, I think, is really going to show the county that we value education and we're giving students alternative skills that they can use in the future. Few pictures here. The one on the left here is Mabel May. This is the Storytime program. We do this every Sunday at 6 p.m. where we read a early childhood literacy book, and then students or children can listen on the air as we broadcast that. The one on the right is one of our student interns, Connor Murdoch. And so we have an internship program each quarter where students come in, learn how to use the radio station, learn how to use the equipment, learn how to public speak, learn how to kind of organize a program. And so it's really good skill development for those kids. So if you kind of turn on the back, what we're asking for is basically three things. An electrical connection with the sub panel. We're happy to pay for the electrical, obviously. It's already up at Grouse Mountain. Internet connection. Joe and I have talked about how we can get our signal or our content up to the tower through potentially a VLAN or something along those sorts. And then space in the shack for our transmitter to be able to broadcast. Now, if you look at this, I know it's not the best map, but you'll see the dark colors there. That's what this signal is going to allow us to do. It's going to allow us, one, to reach basically all of Kremlin. It's going to allow us to reach the side of Granby that has the most populace, and we are looking at potentially putting a booster on the high school that would extend that signal even more and potentially even to Grand Lake. So our timeline for this is we've already acquired another signal. It's 89.1 FM. 88.3 is what's going to be broadcast on top of Grouse Mountain, and that'll reach Kremlin, Granby, and that entire section between Granby or that Highway 40 from Granby all the way to Kremlin, so people can be tuned in to KFFR the entire time. We're then going to put another signal, 89.1, which reaches Fraser. So it's going to change a little bit with these two tower sites. Kind of think about it as East Tower Site and West Tower Site to extend our reach through the county. We hope we're completing a feasibility study. That's where this map came in right now. And we hope to have that done here shortly. And then we're going to apply to the FCC to create a few modifications to put our transmitter up on top of Grouse Mountain. Spring 2024, we're going to get the funding, the antenna, and the transmitter, get it up to, or by the summer, we want to install it at Grouse Mountain and our new site over at Winter Park Resort. And then fall 2024, we're going to apply for a new translator from the FCC to hit Grand Lake, which will basically complete the entire county broadcast area. By summer 2025, we'll install that, and Joe and I have actually talked about a potential site over in Grand Lake that could help us serve the Grand Lake area too. And we have talked about maybe looking at extending our reach into Walden and into Jackson County, potentially by summer 2026. And so that's our project. We think it's a really great partnership between Mountain Parks Electric and KFFR. We think it's going to give you guys great publicity on supporting the community, supporting education, bringing the counties together. As many of you may know, Patrick Brower, he's a friend of mine, and we always talk about it. He used to run Sky High News, and he said that how difficult it was to bring this whole county together because every single town is a little bit different. And I believe passionately that KFFR is that entity that can bring this county together. And we hope that you guys agree that this partnership with Mountain Parks Electric can help us make that happen and really bring a community radio station that everybody loves and cherishes to everyone in the community. This is my card. I'll pass it out. Does anybody have any questions or concerns that I could address right now about this project?
Change the name from community for Fraser Valley.
Yes, actually, that's a good point.
If we give you some money, serving Grand County or Middle Park and North Park.
Yeah. No, with this new frequency, that's actually, we're in those discussions right now. So that's the name of our nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
And yeah, if we are working towards expanding throughout Grand County, KFFR will be 88.3, KFRA will be 89.1, and then we're gonna need like community radio for Grand County. I like your idea though, Middle Park. Community radio for Middle Park. That sounds good. Yeah.
Several years ago, the station was trying to put the transmitter, a new transmitter over maybe on Ranch Creek, Devil's Thumb or something.
Yeah, that's
A lot of pushback on that from neighbors. Was
Yeah.
that one ever installed?
That's when we were first installed. So that was about 7 years ago.
Yes.
And that's where our current tower site
So
is.
that was successful.
That was successful. After all of that kind of hubbub about it. In fact, many of the people that actually complained when we were first initiating that tower site are now members of the station. So I think people now are seeing that this infrastructure is very valuable to the community. But those people are also going to be happy because we will actually remove that tower site, use the Grouse Mountain site, and then we're working with Winter Park Resort to have
So that'll be retired.
that will be retired in the process.
And that was a standalone. You weren't piggybacking like on our Grouse
No.
Mountain, you piggyback on our infrastructure.
Correct. Yeah, that was a standalone. And this new one, we would piggyback on your infrastructure.
Can I get clarity on the request? Is the request just for kind of joint use of our facilities, or is it for, is there a monetary aspect to this request?
No, just joint use of your facilities.
All right,
Yep.
got it.
Yep. We're happy to pay for the electricity and we haven't discussed pricing on internet connectivity. Maybe hopefully that might be an in-kind donation from Mountain Parks. That'd be great. We can figure that out.
And tower space, through the tower space,
yeah.
and there's out to go.
Yeah, and the tower space. So yeah, we are looking for an in-kind donation there.
So you're gonna put one more thing on the fake tree at Sunspot there?
No, we're actually working with Sky right now to try to identify the spot. What Bullfrog over
Yeah.
on Mary Jane's side used to transmit a television signal, and so we're hoping to maybe use that same infrastructure to transmit.
That was the repeater from Denver to the valley.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Ty, do you have any thoughts?
No, not really.
Mike?
Sounds good to me.
Anything else? Right.
All right. I'll leave my card. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer that. Steve Skinner and I work closely together. He's the program director, I'm the executive director, and we're really excited about this potential partnership. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here's also the annual report if you want to take a look at all the fun pictures that we got.
Great. And I think we have Brian Shepherd from Visionary in here as well. It's our second public comment. Come on in.
Brian, this is the time we have open for public comments, so if there's any.
Oh, you're just here to observe. Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry.
All right. So now we're moving on to the consent agenda. Are there any questions? If there aren't any questions, is there a motion? Do you have questions?
Oh, I'd so move though.
Oh, excellent. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? I've marked this one down, Levi.
Got it.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda was the fiduciary responsibility training. Or did we move that?
I should, attorney report.
Oh, the attorney report. Yes, you're right. Are there questions on the attorney? It can be asked in.
I had a question just on the sort of attorney report and folks taking minutes. We went kind of away from listing individual directors if they wanted their votes. They're for or against a certain vote, but is that still how we're doing that? I noticed in the last minutes a lot of individual directors. I think, did they want those?
Oh, yes, I saw that, yeah.
I guess I don't recall going away from that. My default is always labeling it because it's state law that they have the right to that. So I think
Right,
it's just.
yeah, so we need to remember to ask if they want their vote recorded.
I think we did ask last month.
I remember on some we did, but then others I was like.
Yeah.
So it's.
My default is just going to if you vote no, I'm just going to put that down. I mean,
You're going to put the name down.
yeah, I'm going to put the name down if you vote no.
Okay.
And that's just based on state law that it doesn't say you have to put it down, but it says that the directors have the right to have it.
Right,
So
And where you have the right to say, I don't want it noted.
yeah, I suppose.
yeah. And I think
But then-
in the past,
Should I note that in the minutes that you asked that it not be noted?
okay. So we had, when Justin and I first started on the board, that's the way the minutes were taken. It's like every vote, everybody's votes were recorded. And then we went to various classes and had various discussions about board decisions and board unity and whether or not we should have, if the directors felt comfortable, that it was either unanimous or it passed, but only recording the votes if someone requested to have it recorded. That had been the
Those probably weren't state-specific classes, right?
Well, they were,
National?
yeah, CREA.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I guess my question is,
Of a decision on the board unless you absolutely wanted your name. So that's what I just did.
right, it's to, yeah.
But the votes are recorded on the live feeds.
Yeah, we can-
Public anyway.
Yeah, and it's scintillating, the live feed. So maybe we could have a discussion, as we think about this, we could have a discussion. This is a governance question to me, because what I hear from Levi is that state law doesn't require you.
Doesn't require it to be noted. It states that directors have the right to have their no vote recorded.
Right. So we don't have to record the names.
Correct.
Do people want to?
Unless that director says, I want it
Want to
recorded.
think about it more, or should we advise Levi one way or another right now?
I'm happy not to have it recorded. That's fine
Okay.
with me. The one thing I noted in the minutes, though, I think I did vote for the Moffett Railroad Museum, and it says I voted no, so.
That was the one that actually brought it up to me too.
Yeah.
I was like, 3 voted no.
I don't think
Right.
that was the case.
Correction to the minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, we just passed the consent agenda. Okay, so in the future,
So can I get a vote on that? I'd like board action
Okay.
to tell me to not record no votes unless specifically requested.
Unless noted, just ask, I mean, would you like your no vote?
I would like it that the director has to ask so that I don't have to ask every time.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right, Justin, are you willing to?
I think that's me. I'll make a motion.
The default will be to not record no votes unless the no voting director requests it.
Yep.
Okay. That's the motion.
Is there a second? Mark Folt, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I'm opposed.
You want that recorded? Last time I'm going to ask.
Very last.
Famous for that.
Just because I think it was a year ago, when we did the same exact process.
Yeah. Okay.
But it wasn't.
That was my question into legal, so.
Okay.
No opinion.
All right. Got it.
Any other questions on legal? On the attorney report? Okay, fiduciary responsibilities training. Remove that.
That's correct, but I think Levi said he wanted that to be an executive session. Did you?
Oh,
say
yeah.
that?
Yeah, this will be an executive session.
Okay. That takes us to the new business and the discussion items. General manager's report. General manager.
But except, Liz,
Yeah.
I thought we were going to do that before the action items,
Yeah, I thought so too.
but in executive session.
Yeah, we should move and go into executive.
Move into
session.
executive session and then
Yeah,
come out.
Yeah.
Keep going with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
and so that means that staff and. Yeah.
Joe, will you be able to move this into an executive session right now for the live stream's sake and then come back in after the done with
Sure thing, I should be starting.
So we will need a motion to go into executive session to receive financial responsibilities training from Levi, which is a requirement.
Fiduciary duty.
Fiduciary responsibilities training, which is a annual requirement of directors of the board. And now that we have a full board, we've put this off a few months. We're going to do it before we consider the other items.
We've given the executive session for fiduciary training.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?